So it is day 24 of my 31-day challenge, and yes, I'm on the floor. I just finished my 58 sit-ups. I've done 50 wall push-ups, and I did 25 pelvic tilts. I've also started a new one where you kind of squat down on your knees on the floor, and then you lift your body up. So it's kind of like, I just finished them, so I'll just show you, right? So you kind of push yourself up, and then you bring yourself down, right? So what my goal is that as I'm doing that, I'm going to be able, because I used to be able to do this, I could actually hold myself in this position. So even just doing that 2 or 3 times, you're strengthening this and your core. So that's what I've been doing. I've been exercising. I've been like walking. I'm toning up my arm muscles. Like, it's just amazing. And I feel good. So today, the question, this is day 25 of my 31-day challenge. And the question today is, what would you like to change in people's lives? Hell. Sometimes you'd have to be a miracle worker to do that. However, yes, of course, I would like to contribute in some way to other people's lives and to contribute in a good way, right? So, I mean, I strongly, strongly believe that it doesn't matter how much effort I put into someone else's life. If they don't put that effort in, then there's no point of me putting the effort in. If they're not willing to put the effort into their own life, you could be a miracle worker, and it's not going to affect any change in their life. Okay, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're a smoker, and let's say you want to quit. You bitch and complain all the time. You want to quit. You don't want to smoke anymore. You're sick of it. You can't afford it. Blah, blah, right? You can bitch all you want, but if you don't put that cigarette down and do something about it, you're gonna probably die of some cigarette, born illness, right? So let's say I came on the scene and you wanted to quit smoking, and I had the funds, and I don't, and I had the funds, and I went and I purchased the patches for you. Now the patches cost about $500, and I'm a low-income senior, right? Okay, so I would have to really struggle to get that money to purchase you those patches. So let's say I purchased them for you, and I gave them to you. You took them home and you put them in the cupboard, and you never took them out again, and that was it. You just never did it ever again. Well, I know that when you're quitting some type of addiction, you have to want it. You have to want to do it really bad in order to do it, right? Because there's a lot of times when you fall off that wagon, whether it's alcohol, drugs, whatever it may be, even addictions with gambling, okay? So I know that. But if those patches stayed in your cupboard and you didn't use them, what change did I affect? How did the only change I made was I lowered my pocketbook. Like, I spent my money and it didn't affect any change at all. So it has to be not only that you want something, it has to be the fact that you're willing to put the effort in, you're determined, you're persevering. So, like those type of things. So when the question said, what would you like to change in people's lives? I don't know what to tell you. It all depends on the person. It all depends on the person and whether they're willing to put the effort in. So I don't know. I guess that's a pretty simple question to answer. It's pretty self-explanatory, is it not? Where if you want to change somebody's life, they need to put the effort in, right? So I'll give you an example. Myself, I smoked for 47 years. And I'm suffering the consequences of that. And I was encouraged to smoke, not only by my peers, but by the the advertising, society back in those days. You look cool with a cigarette. You look like an adult. People treated you different. They respected you, right? And so I fell into that little crap pile of poop on the ground. You know what I'm saying? I got led astray. Yeah, I did. And most of the people I know smoked at one point or another. So I fell in that fold. Now, many years later, after I had my heart attack and my strokes and everything else that took place on this channel that you have witnessed, I said, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to smoke anymore. I'm sick of it. I don't want to smell like it. I don't want to spend all my money in it. I want to be healthy. And in the morning, the morning I had my stroke, I took my cigarettes, I crashed them all up, cracked them all up, or ripped them to shreds, threw them in the garbage, poured water in the garbage so I wouldn't be able to go in and get the tobacco and roll shags, okay? I got rid of it, right? That night, I had a stroke. I had a stroke that night. And I knew it was coming. I could feel it. So I thought, well, if I'm going out, I'm having supper. So I made myself supper, kept my blood pressure stayed level. I made myself a good supper, did the dishes, cleaned my house, got my belongings together, and then I went downstairs and my superintendent called the ambulance, and I told them I think I'm having a stroke, and they came, and yeah, I had a stroke. I did. I had a stroke. No longer, I think I was in the front door of the hospital with the ambulance like no more than 3 minutes, and I stroked. Yeah. So, and a period of time, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't move my one leg. It was my right side, I think, and I couldn't move. So, it was 10 years ago. So there's a lot of little things that I don't remember from it, and that might be from the stroke. But the point is, okay, I was determined that I was going to change my life, and I did. I no longer smoke. I haven't smoked for 10 years. I'm fighting back to come back to my old self, okay? So what I'm saying to you is, I can't affect any change in your life. Like the question said, what would you like to change in people's lives? Well, if I could change anything, I would like to change their awareness, because we are blocked from finding out the truth about a lot of things. I mean, they said baby powder was safe. Baby powder is safe? Yeah. Well, some close people to me that had baby powder used on them as babies, they experienced cervical cancer. They experienced ovarian cancer. They experienced all sorts of things. And it can be contributed, look back, research it, to baby powder. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? So they tell you one thing, and then 20 years later you find out something else. And then if you don't listen to them, if they say, okay, take this pill, it's going to make you better, and it does for a short period of time, and then all of a sudden you start to get more symptoms of different things happening, clogged arteries, things like that. And so you kind of look at it and you think, well, I don't want to take that pill anymore. What did they say to you? What did they say? You're going against the grain. You're being stupid. You're not listening to common sense. You're not listening to the medical field. You're not listening to the researchers. You're not listening to the facts, is what they say. Well, the facts speak for themselves, to be honest with you, right? So, and that's not my journey. That can be your journey if you want it, but that's not my journey. So I will call you on your crap. I will call you on your crap. And I don't care if you're a big wig or if you're a little wig. I don't care. I'll call you on it. If I see that you're both crapping me, you're feeding me a line of crap, I'm going to call you on it. Plain and simple. And I did call society on it. I called advertising on their crap because I got sucked into that. And so I looked at it and I said, you know what? No, you're wrong. And I'm going to quit. And I did, but I had to persevere. And that's what I did. And so to me, what do I want to change in your life? Nothing. Your awareness of what's good and healthy and what's not. Yeah. Your ability to change things in your life, to be stronger, to persevere, those things I would like to change. And that is only going to change through awareness. So I have a big truck outside my window making lots of noise, and I have no idea what they're doing. It looks like they're watering the soil. I don't know why they're blowing all that money on gas and putting all that pollution into the air just to water soil. Like what? It doesn't make any sense. They're literally spraying water on gravel. I don't get it. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care. Nobody listens to me anyway. So here's the fact. What would I like to change in other people's lives? Nothing. Your awareness, your perseverance, your determination. And, if I do that through these videos, then I've done what I set out to do. So I shall see you in the next video. The good Lord be willing, but certainly not the trucks. So have a good day. Bye.